Hey everyone, how are you? Welcome to today's big agent meeting. We have an awesome show for you today. We're bringing it back to Cala again. We have our Puerto Rico country leader, Eli Torres, as well as one of our amazing agents, Lorraine, who I will introduce to you guys in a bit here. But it's been a hectic past couple of weeks in international. We've had a lot of events going on throughout the world. I was in London for the famous UK Christmas party with Adam Day, our country leader, who you guys have met on this show previously. So we've had quite a bit going on. We have some big announcements as well, and excited to get everybody going. I know Puerto Rico is a country that are one of our markets that we've made a ton of changes to recently. And we've had so many exciting things happen, whether it's Canva, the dual cap or one cap system that we've implemented. And so excited to give you guys an opportunity to learn a little bit more. There's so much cross functionality and sales between United States, but specifically Florida, really, and Puerto Rico. So I always get questions about how people can get more involved. And that's why we decided to pick Puerto Rico for the show. So without further ado, let's bring on our guest, Mr. Eli Torres, country leader of Puerto Rico. Eli, come on up.
Yes, sir. Felix, thank you so much for having me, man. I'm excited to be here. A little nervous, but I'm happy to chat with you and talk about all things Puerto Rico, EXP Puerto Rico, and Cala.
Yeah, I could tell you're nervous because you put on a suit. That means it's legit. That means we really got the real Eli here.
I got my hat in the back.
You got your hat? Yeah, surprised you're not wearing a hat. You might have even, did you blow dry your hair and everything?
I did not.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for jumping on. I appreciate it. I know we talk just about every single day, and we're constantly working towards improving and growing EXP Puerto Rico, but it's always fun to get to share that with the crowd and with the agents for them to learn a little bit more. So Eli, I know you were a part of EXP before even joining as a country leader. You were one of our agents, and you're licensed in Puerto Rico, Florida, Texas. Why don't you just give us a quick little bit about you and how you got to being the Puerto Rico country leader?
Absolutely. So I've been with EXP now 3 years. Actually, last week it was 3 years, and it's been an amazing journey. After 8 years at a different company, joined EXP, had a good conversation with one of who's now my sponsor and mentor, and it was just a natural move for my expansion. I have a team in Houston, Texas. I have a home and a team in Central Florida, and then Puerto Rico as well. So when we made Puerto Rico our permanent home, it was just a natural choice to jump to EXP and build our business here. And as of 8 months ago, with some challenges that EXP Puerto Rico was having and different things that were changing in the market, the company, I was given the opportunity by one of our great leaders to jump into this role and really bring newer ideas of expansion and changes to EXP Puerto Rico. And I couldn't say no. I saw the opportunity, and I'm super passionate about Puerto Rico, the island itself. I'm passionate about the business, and I think there's so much opportunity, not just with EXP, but in the industry in Puerto Rico itself, that I couldn't say no. It took me about 3 days to think about it, and it was an immediate yes.
3 days is a long time. I think it took me 30 minutes, maybe at most. I'll let that slide here. One of the things I love the most about all the leadership team, and I've really noticed this not just in international, but throughout all of EXP, there's so many, almost all of us are former agents. So we've been in the shoes, or we're still actively agents, but maybe we don't, actively sell, or maybe we do. But there's something so special about having all the leadership team have that experience. We've been in the trenches. We've been there, done that. We've had that as part of our resume, but then also being founders of sorts, right? You're the EXP Puerto Rico country leader. So you really are sort of that leader and face of EXP Puerto Rico, but you founded and built your own team. You know what it takes from the other side of things. And I think there's something so special about that. What are some of the biggest changes you've seen at EXP Puerto Rico? And you've been here, what, 7-8 months now as country leader?
8 months. Yep.
So 8 months. What do you think has been the biggest changes you've seen throughout Puerto Rico in these past 8 months? I can think of a few. I know there's been a ton, and we've got so many excited agents over it, but I'd like to hear it from your point of view.
Well, I think one of the biggest changes has been just a shift in culture in the company itself. I think everybody in EXP Puerto Rico has really come together. Our admin team, our agents, that has been huge. Bringing everybody to really jump into the tools that EXP provides. I think because of the industry, the way it works outside of the US, a lot of agents don't realize what tools our company has brought because they're just not used to it outside of EXP. So being able to bring everybody in, I think all the agents are now very active in our tools, like our EXP world, where we have all of our meetings now and everybody interacts and gets support, and using our CRM tools, using our just everybody coming in together now and really jumping into the opportunity and the value that EXP brings. And as it's growing too, because we are really growing our value. And I'll give a little details on that. And then another big change for EXP Puerto Rico is, I guess we can talk about it now, is because, as you mentioned in the beginning, EXP Puerto Rico, or Puerto Rico itself, and the US, specifically Florida, have so much in common. We are US citizens. We use the US dollar as our currency. We are part of NAR, the National Association of Realtors. So we can opt in to be members of NAR, be realtors. We use Stellar MLS, which is used in Florida. So there was this tension that was, I felt, unnecessary. So with you and other people in the company that were a huge help, we have now launched a one cap, one fee for EXP Puerto Rico, which means that EXP Puerto Rico agents have the same advantage as agents in the States, where no matter what state you operate in, or multiple states, including Puerto Rico, you not only have one cap and one fee. So it's made a huge difference for a lot of our agents who have a second home in Puerto Rico and live in Florida, or have a second home in Florida and live in Puerto Rico, but practice in both markets. And it's been a huge, even Connecticut. I mean, we have agents in Connecticut right now who are dual agents in Puerto Rico and Connecticut, Florida, Texas, different states. It's been a huge change. So that's been a huge value add for our agents.
That's amazing. And I know that's something that we had heard so much about from the agents, and they had really been pushing for and asking because of how much of that cross business there is. Coming from the new development world, we did a lot of deals with agents in Puerto Rico who would bring clients over to Florida and vice versa. So I guess I'm curious, from your point of view, do you almost see it as you're servicing, EXP Puerto Rico is servicing two different types of agent, the agent who's mostly focused on just in-island sales, or what we call, national sales, ventas nacionales, and then agents who are doing that cross-functional, cross-border transactions. Do you think there's a place for both of them at EXP Puerto Rico? Do you treat it differently? What's your stand on that?
I'd say there's a place. I think everybody's treated the same, but I think there's a place for three types of agents. There's the place for the agent who's local and only practicing in Puerto Rico, which has all of our tool support that are local to Puerto Rico. We have the agent who's full-time in Puerto Rico, but does some part-time business in Florida because they vacation in Florida. They have a second home. They have a lot of family in Florida, for example. And I'm using Florida as a general term, as in any state, right? Anywhere in the States. And that's the second type of agent. So full-time in Puerto Rico, maybe part-time in Florida or in the States. And then we have the full-time agent in the States who maybe has a second home in Puerto Rico, a vacation home, or family. So it's three types of agents: the full-time local agent here, the local agent here who has part-time business in the States, and then the agent who's full-time in the States but has part-time business in Puerto Rico. I mean, there's so many agents who have family on the island, who have a second home on the island, who vacation. I mean, there's agents that come here 3-4 times a year. So while they're here, they're able to also do business on the island, even though their full-time business is EXP in the States, and vice versa. So it's been a game changer.
Yeah, and that's massive. I mean, I don't know if people understand just how big of a deal it is to have the one cap, one fee for EXP Puerto Rico agents and US agents. But we talk so much about how we truly are borderless, how we truly don't, compared to the franchise models or any of some of our competitors who claim to be independent, right? An EXP agent in Florida can pick up the phone and call Eli, you and your team in Puerto Rico and be treated just like an EXP agent, as opposed to, calling a different franchise owner. But now they're truly within the same company, just in different locations. Where do you think, you've seen so many changes in the last 8 months. I know you and I behind the scenes and the entire team, even earlier today, we were discussing some really big news for Puerto Rico. One of the things I think was super interesting and unique to Puerto Rico is you don't have to be an agent to, or have a license, to sell homes, right? Which we've seen internationally, but we've never seen it in a place where you can actually be an AR member. You can be a realtor as well. So you don't have to have a license, but you can be a realtor. So there's sort of this weird mix when it comes to value proposition. Where do you see the future of EXP Puerto Rico 8 months from now? I mean, how many more things can we add, and where do you see that going? I'm trying to tee it up a little bit and let you talk about it, but I know it's been exciting. I know there's so many people who have been asking for what we're working towards. So
I don't know how much details we want to give in this interview, but I will do my best. First, I do want to clarify. So every agent in Puerto Rico is licensed, right? Everybody is licensed by the state of Puerto Rico, or the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico does give you a license. It's just that 92% of agents in Puerto Rico don't opt into NAR. They don't become realtors. So they're licensed agents. They can sell real estate. They can be intermediaries between seller, buyer, tenant, landlord. They're just not part of NAR. They're not a member of NAR, so they're not realtors. And that's been a heavy resistance. And what it's created is because all these agents don't have access to the tools that NAR provides, what's happening is people are promoting, a lot of agents outside of EXP are promoting their listings on pages like Craigslist. We have a similar to Craigslist, Clasificados Online, and consumers are just not getting that top tier service that, for example, I've been used to as after 10 years of real estate in Houston and in Florida. And we are bringing now a solution to that. We are bringing a solution for EXP Puerto Rico where all of our agents, the 140 agents we have now and the 250 we're going to add in 2025, we're going to have a solution where all of our sellers, all of our clients are going to be able to see their properties listed on the MLS, on Realtor.com, on Zillow.com, and all these other portals that you're used to for maximum exposure. And all of our agents are going to have access to these tools without necessarily having to become a member of NAR and having that extra expense. So that's going to be a huge solution. I mean, we're going to bring beautiful websites for our agents to be able to market their business. We're going to bring different tools to manage the back end of the business. I truly, truly believe when I say what I'm going to say is I truly, truly believe that when this happens, hopefully the beginning of the first quarter of next year, when everything is implemented, EXP Puerto Rico is going to be top company for agents to join in 2025.
That's amazing. That is, I don't know if people realize how big of a deal that is, but the fact that any agent at EXP Puerto Rico is going to be able to list their properties on all of these major American, I guess, let's say portals like Zillow, like Realtor, Homes.com, et cetera, without having to be a member of NAR. Is there anybody else doing that, Eli, in Puerto Rico at the moment?
I've done some homework, and to my knowledge, nobody's doing that unless they're doing it. There is a company, maybe two companies that are doing that in a sense where all the listings that the agents have, if they're not realtors, then they have to go under the broker, and it's the broker's face on their listings. What we're going to do different is our agent is going to own their listing. They're going to own their marketing. They're going to own their branding. They're going to own their website, and it's going to be all about our agents. It's not going to be about Eli. It's not going to be about EXP. It's going to be about our agents building their business and representing their clients the best way possible. That's what it's going to be about.
It's almost like a mic drop moment. I don't really know what else we're supposed to say about that. I think you're going to get, do you have a mic you can drop right there? Yeah, we're going to get quite a lot of people reaching out about this. I think this is going to be massive. I know we're teasing this up, but it's something we're going to move on really quickly. We've been excited about this. One cap, one fee. We've announced Canva. We're going to get all our agents access to Zillow, to Realtor without having to be licensed. You've seen such a positive change in Puerto Rico. And I think specific to Puerto Rico, that's amazing. But it's something that I tie into EXP as a whole is how we continue to innovate. We didn't just build a model and say, hey, here's our model. Let's just go and do that. We've continued every single time to ask ourselves, how can we provide a better opportunity for our agents? How could we provide better service? So agents are going to be blowing you up left and right. I think they're going to also probably want some material so that they could share with their friends and take advantage of our model and revenue share and all these things. So Eli, where can people find you? How do they get access to you? Both agents at EXP, but also those who maybe aren't with EXP right now and they do want to have that conversation just to explore a little bit more.
Yeah, EliTorres.com is my website. The easiest way to find me actually is through social media. Most of my handles are going to be Eli Torres Realtor. So just reach me there. I'm happy to, Instagram, Facebook, or just call me at 832-430-2107. Happy to chat and, fully bilingual. So if you're watching this and you want to talk in Spanish, we're happy to chat and help you, join our company. We're making a huge impact in our industry in Puerto Rico, and I'm excited about it.
Amazing. Eli, thank you so much for joining. I think we're probably going to have to bring you back on and do something on our social medias once this is officially launched. But I think we're hitting the ground running. We're ending the year really strong, and we'll have some amazing and positive changes that are happening early 2025. 2025 is going to be a huge year for Puerto Rico. I can't wait to see all the success.
And thank you for all your work. And I know it's been a lot of work, so I'm excited. Thank you.
Thank you, Eli.
All right.
Well, you guys heard it here first. EXP Puerto Rico is already has just one cap, one fee. So if you're dual licensed in the United States and Puerto Rico, you can take full advantage of that. And coming real soon, we're going to have an opportunity for every single agent at EXP Puerto Rico to have their listings on Zillow, on Realtor, on all these American portals, and it'll be them listed as the agent on the listing. So you guys have full control over that. This is what I love about our job, about what we're doing at EXP. We continue to innovate and continue to add more value to the agents, and I love seeing what our agents do with that. So thank you, Eli, for coming on board. I think we do have some announcements for you guys. As always, please check us out on our EXP International socials, our YouTube channel, specifically youtube.com/@EXP International. We have some amazing things happening here. We've translated all the videos that we do. So Big Agent Meeting, you'll now find it in a multitude of languages, all the languages that we service, as well as training videos, any type of big announcements. They happen here at the EXP International YouTube. So please check us out there. And if you're interested in getting involved with the community and learning a little bit more, and maybe you have a little FOMO of missing out on last year's EXP or this year's EXPCon International, next year we're so proud to announce EXPCon Barcelona, June 23rd to the 25th. I'll be there. I know Eli will. All of our country leaders will attend EXPCon Barcelona. So if you're an agent and you want to take an opportunity to take your business to that next level and really connect with international agents, do it here. EXPCon Barcelona, June 23rd to 25th. 2025. So excited for that. And I think a lot of people will just be excited to be in Barcelona, to be honest. But thank you for listening, for checking out EXP Puerto Rico, for being a part of everything we do. I've seen so much growth in a short period of time in our socials, and that's why we continue to shout this out. So thank you guys for doing that. And Eli and I talked a little bit about how we really do everything for the agents. And that's why it's so important to me on this show that we always bring on board an agent to talk about everything that we've been showcasing, right? Because it's important, and truly this company was built by agents for agents, and that's what we're here for. So let's bring up Lorraine for us from EXP Puerto Rico, one of our rock star agents who has hit the ground running. She is based out of, I think, San German, Puerto Rico. But Lorraine, is that where you're based out of now that you're here on stage?
Yes, that is correct. I'm from San German, Puerto Rico. That's actually on the southwest part of the island. Usually people know about San Juan, so I am actually about 2 hours away from San Juan.
Okay, amazing. And I've been to Puerto Rico one time. I actually have some cousins who live there in San Juan. I've never visited San German, but I know I have some plans in 2025 to visit, do some events with the agents. But when I asked Eli what agent we should have on board, he mentioned you right away. And when I read a little bit about you and your story and how you've been able to start in this real estate space and grow so quickly, so fast, I loved it. I really, really resonated with that, because I remember when I was entering the industry and becoming an agent, I kept trying to figure out, like, I would see all these top producers who have been in the industry for so long, but what I really wanted to hear from was somebody who had been in my shoes in the last year or two and sort of taken off. So why don't you tell us a little bit about you and how you ended up at EXP?
Sure. It was my pleasure. Well, actually, becoming a real estate agent, I don't want to say it was more than just a career change. It was more like a lifestyle choice, right? I'm an engineer as a background, and have been working in a corporate world for over 22 years. But interestingly enough, something happened about a year ago. I was going with a friend who wanted to buy a property, and she just showed me, okay, let's do this. I found this property online. Do you want to go with me? I called the agent and we can see it tomorrow. So I just show up with her. We went to the place. We went to the apartment. It was an amazing place, beachfront property. The agent was there. She took really good care of us. It was like a really nice process. And my friend actually made the offer right there on the spot. I'm like, what? What's this, right? So it's interesting, right? I want to learn more about how to do this, and I love the flexibility that I saw out of that agent that was actually showing us the property. So that's how I decided, let me take a look. How does that actually work? And I found out some information on what does it take to take classes, to learn, and everything was history. I did my search like on a Monday. Classes were actually starting like that next Thursday. So I'm like, okay, so this is for me. And I did it. I went, I took the classes, over 90 hours of classes, waited for the test, took the test. And then, once I got my license, of course, I was doing some research in terms of what company to join, because I wanted to continue with my corporate work, right? I wanted to still be an engineer. I'm also a mom. I have 2 teenager boys. So it has to be something that give me that flexibility, that help me to keep, to get the ground running. And that's how I learned about EXP. Actually, being a cloud-based company was what captured my attention. It actually gave me, or it's given me the flexibility to continue, taking care of my family and also taking care of my job as well. So,
Well,
and fun fact, I'm sorry, fun fact, I have never bought a house or sold a house in my life before, right? Like I designed and built my house, it was construction, so it was like a whole new experience for me. But
I think that that'll resonate with a lot of people. Real estate tends to be sort of a second or third career, right? A lot of the times that's what we find. And I mean, for me, I had never purchased a home either. I was, I was pretty young when I got my license, so I had never purchased a home, but instantly fell in love with it, and it kind of drove me towards trying to build my own real estate investments, etc. So first of all, I love everything you said. You took a leap of faith. You decided to get your real estate license, all while still being a mom, all while still having a career. So you didn't let that sort of stop you from trying to either better your life or continue to grow as a professional, as a person, as an individual. How long have you now been licensed, and how long have you been with EXP? Did you join right away?
Yes, I did. I actually got my license on January 22nd of this year, of 2024. And I think I joined EXP like 4 or 5 days after. So that was it. So I have been pretty much 11 months with EXP and 11 months being as a real estate agent.
And in those 11 months, I mean, I saw here and doing a little bit of research, Lorraine, I saw that you've been able to do 10 transactions in your first 11 months of real estate. Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct. I've been able to do 10 transactions so far. I actually have another closing on Thursday and another closing on Monday. So that's going to be about 12. 2 more houses under contract, and I got like 3 or 4 active listing. So
that's amazing. No, that's awesome. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the national averages of how many transactions an agent closes, but that's what was so strong to me about your story, because I think it's so relatable as the average person who sees themselves either maybe they have a career and real estate is more of a part-time thing, or maybe they're a full-time agent but they haven't sort of hit those strides that they wanted to hit. You've hit the ground running, and in 11 months from never purchasing a home, never doing a real estate transaction, never being licensed, to doing 10 deals closed and having 2 more closings on the way. So you'll, in a full year, you'll have done basically a deal a month, which is usually, that is like the main goal that everybody does when they jump into real estate, right? They say, okay, I want to get my first home sale, but then you want to do 1 a month. So tell us what was it that sort of made you, what do you attribute that success to? Is it just hard work? Is it maybe something at EXP? Is it the people around you? What has allowed you to achieve that success?
Yeah, definitely hard work, right? That's key. But also, learning from the best, being open and learning from, from mentors, learning from, sponsors, learning from, key leaders at EXP, having the opportunity to meet with them, having somebody to call whenever I had a question, because, hey, the first time I actually got the first house under contract, I'm like, okay, what do I do next? Right? They accepted the offer, so what do I do next? So having somebody to call and that person being right there answering you, that has been great, right? So I always said, EXP is not only a brokerage that you're just under them, they're a really great community. They get people accessible to you. I can contact any of them at any time, and they will get back to me as soon as they can, right?
Yeah.
So, again, just learning from the best and being open to listen advices.
Yeah, and you do. I've heard, or I've done my research, and I see that you do transactions a lot from buyers from mainland United States coming into Puerto Rico, right? And I know that's a big goal for a lot of agents to accomplish something like that, or whether they just want to work with more international real estate. How did you break into that? Sometimes that's the hardest part is, well, if I live in Puerto Rico, I live on the island, how do I find buyers who are in mainland US if I'm not personally attached to that? How were you able to break that barrier?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely true. I have to say I think it's between 75 and 80% of my transaction has been with buyers from the mainland, actually buying properties in Puerto Rico. Good thing is, like I'm on the west side of the area of the island. That part actually has been booming because we have another airport in Aguadilla that is getting popular between, the visitors from the U.S. Because it's so close to the area, and the West is still not as crowded as can be, the metro area itself. So definitely social media, advertising myself a lot into social media, going a lot into all of the channels where people actually just go and post that they're interested, educating. I took the time, I take the time a lot, but at the beginning of the first couple of months, I took the time to create, charts, what I was describing, what are the benefits of, buying in the West versus buying on the East and buying on the, in the metro area. So whenever it was somebody there and I would see somebody post, hey, I'm looking to buy a beachfront property, there will be me like reaching to them and telling, hey, I'm here to help you if you want, let me educate you. Why do you want to go to Luquillo? Have you thought about Isabela? Have you thought about Aguadilla? So me being able just to tell them about other opportunities and the advantages, in terms of maybe price, proximity to the airport, as I mentioned, have helped me a lot. And actually what's happening is, I get a lot of recommendations even on the websites and on the social media pages, people saying, hey, you know what, I bought with Lorraine, she's a great agent, so look for her. And people just call me because of that. People say, hey, I heard somebody told me you're a good agent. So
two things that I think that you did very successfully that I believe a lot of agents are either maybe they know they should do it, but they don't, or they're scared to do it. One is you educated yourself really quickly, right, on your area. You might have never bought a home before yourself. You might have never sold a home, but you did take advantage of information that was already out there. So you became an expert in your space so that you could educate your buyers or your sellers, which I think is so important to learn that, so you can have the confidence and conviction to then go ahead and educate, because they're looking to you to be the expert, right? And that's part of the benefits, as you said, having access to sponsors and the community at EXP. A lot of times, especially in those early stages, they might ask you questions you just don't know, but having that access to that community can help solve that really quickly. And then the second is the referrals. This entire industry is built on referrals. So many strong businesses built on that. So I think it's amazing that you've taken advantage of that. I'm sure you've incorporated it into your plan. When you came in, well, first of all, are you still actively working as an engineer?
Yes, I am. I'm a full-time. I'm working full-time.
So you're a full-time engineer who has also hit the ground running in real estate while also being a mom. Lorraine, I have to say congratulations on all of your success.
Thank you.
What do you think when you came into real estate? Did you build a business plan? Did you build a plan of this is what I'm going to do? Did you maybe you started in January? So did you say, okay, first 90 days, this is what I'm going to accomplish? And if so, what was that plan so that the people who are listening can sort of take some of those best practices?
Yes, I did initially, right? I did it way back as part of my vision board for 2024. I make a plan in terms of, I want to make X amount of money in real estate, right? I have to say, that I have exceeded, of course, that amount by, I think, almost 4 times what I put as my goal. So now I know it was actually a really low goal, or maybe something similar to what the statistics are, right? Maybe a couple of deals a year. So that was pretty much the plan that I had. Since I started getting momentum, so I actually increased that goal, and mid-year, as an engineer, I'm used to have strategies and I'm used to do reviews and all that. So I actually do them. I do what it's called a 12-week year plan. So I do my goals in 12-week buckets. So pretty much mid-year, it was actually in this case in June, I revised my goals and I created my funnel. So I'm like, okay, this is what I have accomplished so far. I see I can make this amount of sales. And I created a funnel in terms of, what does it mean in terms of leads, in terms of contacts, in terms of listings versus buyers, and created in terms of like some time blocks that I needed to assign myself to work into those. Yeah. So that's something that I have incorporated. I have to say I'm really structured in terms of the time allotted for each activity, even though I embrace flexibility. Because, it can happen that my teenager might have an assignment or might have to a volleyball game or something that it takes me, or I get a quick showing call that I need to pivot from my original plan. But I have a custom to do that, and then I know that I need to go back, close my actions, And I keep track of everything, how many leads do I get, how many followers I'm getting in the different social media things. And I keep metrics, of course. I get everything, tabulated, and I review into that. And then I check, what else do I need to improve in terms of strategy? Even though I'm hitting social media after participating at the EXP Con this past October, I learned that I need to do a whole bunch. I need to upgrade my game as well. That's a big opportunity. So that's something that I'm incorporating now for my 2025 strategy or business plan.
Well, I love that you built a plan, and your plan was so successful that you 4x'd what you originally were going to do. And even though you 4x'd it, you're still figuring out ways to improve your plan, to continue to get better and continue to move forward. I think that's where a lot of people get stuck, is they don't do that. And it was interesting. You said you built them into 12-week buckets, right? So 3 months at a time. One of the things Glenn Stanford, our founder, has actually pushed me and a lot of the team to do is it's so easy when you plan 1 year ahead to get into that, you're 4 or 5 months into the plan and you're so far behind what your annual goal is that it all just starts to fall apart. And so planning on things that are in the short term, 3 months apart, if you do the hard work in those 3 months and you can control it, putting a plan together of things you can actually control, and not saying, it's good to say, okay, I want to sell 1 deal a month this year. But what's better is to say, I want to reach out to 20 contacts a week or whatever it is, 30 contacts a week, because it's work that you can do no matter what. And if you accomplish those, you'll see the results and you'll know exactly, okay, how many contacts do I need to do if I want to double that, et cetera. So I love everything you said about time blocking and building out your plans. And I'm sure a lot of agents would actually like to learn more. So if you're an agent who maybe you're getting started, you're thinking about getting started, or you've been in the business for a bit, but you haven't sort of cracked that code of what's going to get you to that next level, Lorraine, I would suggest that they reach out to you. Where can these agents find you? How can they get in touch with you? How could they contact you?
Yes, for sure. They can also contact me on social media, right? I'm at, they can find me at Forest Realty, or, through the EXP, chats. I'm always available. And, I love to pay forward, really. So if anybody wants any help, they have any questions, please, reach out. Because again, I like to pay forward. People were there for me and they helped me, and I appreciate that. So any of those methods.
That's amazing. Lorraine, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being on the show, and I look forward to seeing you at EXPCon. I know we already saw each other at EXPCon Miami, but hopefully we'll see you at EXPCon International in Barcelona.
We will, for sure.
Absolutely. Awesome. Okay. Thank you, Lorraine.
Thank you.
Well, this is my favorite part of my job. It's not necessarily doing BAMI, although I do love doing BAMI, but it's talking to the agents and hearing their stories. Coming from a family of realtors, my mom was a realtor before me. My dad was in the real estate space as well. Then being an agent myself and having my own team and bringing people onto my team, hearing their stories. I now get to do it at the largest independent real estate brokerage in the world, but we still get the opportunity to connect with agents like Lorraine who have these success stories. And I think there's a power to that, and there's a power to the community that we have. And I'd urge you that if you're a part of EXP, to tap into that community and to start reaching out and open your mind a little bit to what's possible, because the information's out there, but it is up to you to go and get it. Thank you, Lorraine, for being on the show. Thank you, Eli Torres, for being on the show. As always, if you guys enjoyed BAMI today, please take out your phones and complete the survey. You can scan this QR code, give us a rating between 1 and 10. And if you could, please let us know what you loved or what we could improve on. Your feedback is extremely valuable. We read every submission, and we've already made some changes based off the feedback you've given. So please continue to give that feedback. If you enjoyed today's show, drop a like and put a comment. I'd love to know what country you guys think that we should be on next. As always, we're live every other Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern on our EXP YouTube channel. So drop a comment down below what country you're in and what country we should focus on next. We have some huge announcements at our next Big Agent Meeting International. Excited about that. Thank you guys for being at the show. I look forward to meeting you. And as always, you can reach out to me on Workplace Chat or Discord if you're an EXP agent. And if you're not, Felix Bravo International is my Instagram. So please reach out to me there. Thanks, everyone.